They taught the alien class how to kill a human. Human waited until the lesson ended to correct them. The lecture hall on the Orbital Academy was filled with the hushed murmurs of dozens of alien cadets, scales, fur, and chitin glistening under the artificial lights. They were the brightest recruits of the Ascendancy, trained in military science and combat doctrine to face every known threat in the galaxy. Today's lesson was a particularly unusual one. On the central display, an image of a human rotated slowly, annotated with alien glyphs. The cadets leaned forward, eager. They had heard whispers about humanity, a death world species, dangerous, unpredictable, and yet, here was a lecture claiming to provide the formula for ending one. At the podium stood Instructor Velik, a Karath veteran of 3 wars, his chitin plate scarred from past battles. He raised a claw, and the murmurs ceased. "Today," he rasped, "you will learn the vulnerabilities of the species known as Homo sapiens. Terrans, humans. Many of you have heard them described as reckless predators, difficult to kill. That is true, but every beast bleeds." His claws tapped the hollow display, zooming in on the human body. Strike here, the head, remove the brain, and the body falls. Sever the arteries at the throat, and they will drown in their fluids. Target the heart, pierce the lungs, crush the spine. These are mortal weaknesses, no matter their reputation. The cadets scribbled notes with eager claws and tendrils, committing the points to memory. Vila continued, voice dripping with certainty. "Do not be fooled by their endurance. Yes, they heal quickly compared to many species. Yes, their pain threshold is high, but they can be stopped. Shock, suffocation, bleeding. These are universal truths. Do this, and a human is no different from prey." At the back of the hall sat a single figure, silent and still. A human, the only human in the academy. They're under a cultural exchange program no one quite understood. His name was Lieutenant Aaron Cole, though to the cadets, he was simply the human. He had listened quietly through every lesson, never raising his voice, never boasting. Now, as the hollow spun above, his sharp eyes flicked from Vila to the crowd of cadets, furiously writing down instructions on how to kill him. Not once did he interrupt. Not once did he flinch. He sat back, arms folded, and waited. The lesson dragged on, each detail more clinical than the last. Methods of drowning, weak points in joints, the assumed fragility of their internal organs. Finally, after nearly an hour, Vila concluded, "And that, cadets, is how you neutralize a human threat. Remember, confidence and precision will turn a predator into a corpse." A hush lingered, then a low chuckle broke it. All heads turned. Aaron stood, unfolding from his seat with the slow, deliberate motion of someone who wanted every eye in the room on him. His voice cut through the silence, calm and steady. "That was a very interesting lecture, Instructor, but..." His lips curled into something between a smile and a warning. "There are a few mistakes." Velik's mandibles clicked in irritation. "Human, this was not an invitation to..." "No," Aaron said evenly, stepping down the aisle toward the podium. "You spent an hour teaching them how to kill me. Seems only fair I give them the courtesy of correcting you. Wouldn't want anyone failing their exam because of bad intel." Some of the cadets exchanged uneasy glances. Others leaned forward, fascinated. Humans were notorious for their unpredictability. None of them knew if Aaron was about to laugh or attack or both. He reached the podium and tapped the hollow. The image of the human spun, highlighting the skull. "You said, remove the brain. True, that'll do it. Problem is, you've got to get through the skull first. Human skulls are thicker than most of you realize. Blades glance. Plasma bolts can burn, but don't always penetrate deep enough unless you're at close range. And if you miss by a few centimeters..." Aaron tapped his temple with 2 fingers. "We had people take bullets to the head and keep walking. You can't bet on that being instant." He shifted the display to the throat. "Sever the arteries. Good plan, if you catch us standing still. Trouble is, humans don't freeze when they're cut. Adrenaline spikes, pain dulls, and we fight harder. You've maybe got 30 seconds before we bleed out. 30 seconds is more than enough to end you first." His tone was flat, not boastful. Just fact. Now the heart and lungs glowed red. You're right. These are vital. But again, you'd better hit clean. Our rib cages aren't just decoration. They're armor. Miss by a little, and you'll just piss us off. I've seen soldiers keep fighting with holes through their lungs. Seen men run half a kilometer with a heart wound just to drag their squad mate to safety. The cadets were utterly silent. The hollow flickered as Aaron zoomed out. The entire human body glowing faintly. You want to know the real problem? You're thinking like we're prey animals. You're assuming kill shots are enough. But humans don't go down the way you expect. We're stubborn. We're angry. And most of all, we don't fight for ourselves. You wound one of us, you'll have 10 more charging at you, no matter the odds. He let the words hang in the air before stepping back. His voice softened, almost conversational. So, can you kill a human? Sure, we die just like anything else. But if you think it'll be clean, simple, predictable, then you've already made your last mistake. The cadets sat frozen, their notes suddenly looking like dangerous lies. Even Felix seemed unsettled, his claws twitching against the podium. Are you attempting to frighten my cadets, human? Aaron tilted his head. No, instructor. Just correcting the lesson. You gave them theory. I gave them reality. He turned, started walking back toward his seat, then paused. Without looking back, he added, and one more correction. You forgot to mention that sometimes the best way to kill a human is to not try at all. Because once you make us your enemy, you don't get to choose how the story ends. He sat down again, folding his arms as though nothing had happened. The silence stretched long, until finally Felix rasped, "Class dismissed." The cadets filed out, hushed, their minds heavy with what they'd just witnessed. Not a single one dared look the human in the eye. Later, in the quiet of the empty hall, Felix lingered, staring at the hollow image still spinning slowly above. For the first time in years, the veteran instructor felt something unfamiliar coil in his chest. Not hatred, not disdain, something far more dangerous. Respect and unease, because the human had been right. Killing one might be possible, but killing what came after, that was another matter entirely.